Somewhere around age 50, something changes on the clay range. Not your eye, not your love of the sport, your body. The mount that used to be instant now has a hitch in it. The swing that used to be smooth now feels like it's fighting you. And the worst part? You start blaming yourself. You start thinking the game has passed you by. It hasn't. What's actually happened is simpler and far less personal. You're still using a technique built for a 25-year-old's joints, reflexes, and recovery time. And nobody ever told you it needed to change. One man figured this out before almost anyone else on Earth. George Digweed, 26 times world champion, the most decorated clay shooter in history, didn't get there by being the strongest or the fastest. He got there by being the most economical. Every motion he makes is one your 50, 60, 70-year-old body can still perform, because it was never about brute force to begin with. Today, 3 adjustments, pulled straight from the way Digweed builds a shot, that are tailor-made for the shooter who's got more wisdom than knee cartilage left. Stick with me, because the third one is the one almost nobody over 50 is doing, and it's costing you more birds than you realize. Act 2. The 3 adjustments. Adjustment 1. The economical mount. When's the last time you timed how far your gun actually travels from your hip to your cheek? Most shooters have never once measured it. Turns out, that number is quietly wrecking your scores. Most shooters over 50 were taught the big, sweeping mount. Gun starts low on the ribs, travels a long arc, snaps up hard into the cheek and shoulder at the last second. That's a young man's mount. It demands fast twitch muscle, split-second timing, and a shoulder that recovers instantly between stations. By 50, most of us have exactly none of that left in reserve. Digweed's mount is almost boringly short. The gun starts pre-mounted, high on the chest, barely 3 or 4 inches from its final position. There's no big arc to time. There's no last-second snap to miss time. Less distance means less that can go wrong, and less wear on a shoulder that's already earned some respect. Here's your adjustment. Bring your pre-mount position up. Gun butt tucked just under the armpit. Stock nearly touching the cheekbone before the bird ever leaves the trap. You're not eliminating the mount. You're shrinking it down to something your body can execute the same way. Every single time. Station after station. All day long. That consistency is the whole game. A big mount you nail 8 times out of 10 will lose to a small mount you nail 10 times out of 10. Every time. And that leads right into the second adjustment. Because a shorter mount means nothing if your feet are still fighting your spine to get there. Adjustment 2. The protected stance. Here's something that should scare you a little, and I mean that honestly. Twisted, over-rotated stances are one of the leading reasons experienced shooters quietly walk away from the sport in their 60s. Not bad eyesight, not bad nerves, a back that finally said, no more. The classic stance has you pre-rotate hard toward the pickup point, then wind further through the swing to the kill point. That deep spinal rotation was fine when you were 40. At 65, that same twist under time pressure is exactly how a weekend at the club turns into 6 weeks with a physical therapist. And look, nobody's trading their Saturday round for a lumbar support cushion. Let's fix it before it gets there. Digweed's stance is almost stingy with rotation. Feet set, so the body only has to turn a small, controlled amount from pickup to kill point. Never the full, dramatic wind-up you see from younger competitive shooters chasing extra power. He's not protecting his back on purpose. He simply never needed the exaggerated turn in the first place, because economy was always the whole philosophy. Your adjustment set your lead foot pointing closer to your actual kill point, not your pickup point, before the bird ever launches. That one change cuts your rotation nearly in half. Less twist, less strain, less chance the round ends early for the wrong reasons. This isn't just about scores anymore. This is about how many more years you get to stand on that station at all. Which brings us to adjustment 3, the one that has almost nothing to do with your body, and everything to do with a habit you probably don't even know you have. Adjustment 3, the sustained visual picture. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. Your reflexes at 65 are not what they were at 30. That's not an insult, that's biology. And if your whole technique depends on reacting fast enough to a target, biology is going to win eventually. Most shooters were taught swing through. Pick up the target, catch it, accelerate past it, pull. That method leans entirely on speed and timing. It's exciting. It's also exactly the wrong tool for a body with a longer reaction time than it used to have. Ever notice how the guys who've been shooting 60 years never seem to be in a hurry? That's not confidence, that's technique. Digweed shoots with an almost unnervingly soft, sustained focus. He stays connected to the target longer, tracks it with minimal gun speed, and lets a controlled, unhurried lead develop instead of chasing the bird with a fast, reactive swing. He is, quite literally, giving his eyes and his gun more time to agree with each other before he pulls the trigger. Your adjustment: soften your focus onto the target earlier, and consciously slow your barrel speed by roughly a third. It will feel wrong at first. Every instinct will tell you you're going to be late. You won't be. You're trading reaction speed you no longer have for visual patience you've spent 40 years building. That patience is worth more than fast twitch muscle ever was. This is the adjustment that quietly separates the shooters who keep improving into their 70s from the ones who plateau at 55 and never move again. Act 3, the payoff. 3 adjustments: a shorter mount, a protected stance, a slower, more patient eye. None of them require you to be faster, stronger, or younger than you are right now. All 3 simply take the technique of the most decorated shooter alive and reshape it around the body you actually have, not the one you had 30 years ago. And here's what's really at stake if you don't make these changes. It's not just your scores. It's whether this sport stays something you can do into your 70s or something your body eventually forces you to give up. Every shooter who quit early quit because nobody showed them how to adapt in time. You just did. So next time you're at the line and your knees are reminding you they exist, smile. You now know something most of the club doesn't. Now, everything we covered today works because of one core Digweed principle we've barely scratched the surface of. The reason his eyes and his gun almost never disagree, on any target, at any angle. I broke that down completely, station by station, in the video linked right now on your screen. If you want to understand exactly why George Digweed rarely misses a target, not just what he does, but the mechanics behind it, tap that video now. It's the piece that ties everything from today together. Until then, mount short, stand protected, and let your eyes do the work your reflexes used to.